Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melissa Galasso, and I'm excited to have you today to talk about the second quarter of 2020 in review. As we do every week after the end of a quarter, we're just going to talk about what standards were issued and proposed during the prior quarter. Just a little bit of a recap on what we normally cover. So the AICPA was pretty busy. They have managed to issue SAS 140 this quarter, which was the proposed or the final changes to the 900 section for the SASs. So 134 came out in May of 2019. It took almost an entire year before the final item would come out related to that suite, which was SAS 140, and that addresses compliance audits, interim reporting, and how we can take the changes from SAS 134 as well as SAS 137 and incorporate those into those standards. SAS 141, which addresses COVID, delays the effective dates of SAS 134 through 140 and allows for early adoption. In addition to the two SASs, they also issued 4 TISs, or what I call Technical Q&As. They address healthcare entities, in particular accounting for costs incurred in connection with the implementation of electronic health records, as well as financial statement presentation related to provider taxation programs and similar arrangements. They also issued long-term debt, in particular the treatment of PPP, as well as loan restructuring and the Paycheck Protection Program. So lots going on related to COVID-19, as you can see by the AICPA. FASB was no different. They only had one thing really, the proposal and then the final issuance of ASU 2020-05, delaying the effective date for private entities and not-for-profit entities for leases, and then for private entities, revenue recognition. Finally, GASB was one of the ones that got the most done during this quarter. They managed to issue quite a few standards here, including 5 GASB statements and an implementation guide. So GASB 93, which is our LIBOR adjustments, and so as LIBOR goes away, how we're handling reference rate reform. GASB 94, which is our P3 or triple P related to public-private partnerships or public-public partnerships, as well as APA arrangements. GASB 95 postpones all of our GASB statements from 83 pretty much through to 93 for 12 months, with the exception of GASB 87, which gets an 18-month delay, which is for leases. GASB 96 addresses SPIDAs, or subscription-based IT arrangements. A lot of us would refer to this as cloud computing arrangements, and provides the accounting, which did not exist for governmental entities in the past, and many were using the FASB standards in this area. GASB 97 addresses 2 items. The first one are issues related to implementation in GASB 84, which is fiduciary activities, as well as the reporting for Section 457 plans and how those would be handled. And then they issued the implementation guide for 2020. In addition to all of those final standards coming out, GASB also managed to get 4 exposure drafts out there. An exposure draft to delay the effective date, which becomes GASB 95, and then a proposed technical bulletin, which the final version of it came out today, July 2nd. And so you can see a final version related to COVID accounting for the CARES Act and various Q&As that the GASB staff has put out there. They also, on June 30th, managed to get out 2 final, one exposure draft and 1 preliminary reviews documents. The first is related to revenue recognition. It's actually revenue and expenses, and it's a preliminary reviews document following up with the prior ITC. And then moving much further along is a conceptual standard, and it's going to update the conceptual framework related to recognition of elements, and really goes into more detail on the short-term financial reporting framework, which is going to replace the current version that we have today. So lots going on in this quarter. As always, it's just important to be aware of what comes out, as many of them were effective pretty quickly because of the COVID implications of them. Others obviously have significant delays in order to address the COVID issues. So hopefully this is a nice roundup of all the standards that came out in the prior quarter. And I look forward to seeing you next week for our next blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.